Kia ora manuhiri. Hello everybody, welcome to Aotearoa New Zealand and welcome to Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland on one of the most anticipated days in world sport, the opening day of the 36th America's Cup match featuring challenger of record Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and defender Emirates Team New Zealand. Two nations from the opposite ends of the world desperate to get their hands on the old mug. Luna Rossa is battle-hardened. Te Rehotai finally gets to show the world what she's got. The race schedule is busy. There's 2 races today. Tomorrow is a day off. Then it's full-on racing with no break. The first to 7 race victories wins the America's Cup. Let's head to the back paddock, Course E, where conditions are ideal with 10 to 13 knots of wind forecast. Emirates Team New Zealand on port. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli has starboard.
Okay, he's coming up.
And here they come. What do we get?
Will they run away from each other? Will they attack each other? The speculation on the streets here is that Spithill and Bruni might try to attack, find a little bit of a weakness in the Kiwis in this mode. But Nathan, you found out pretty quick down in, well, we all found out quick in Bermuda. Burling is a quick study.
He's a very quick study. Here he goes. He's rolling into the jibe, and Bruni and Jimmy trying to jump here already. They could be a little bit early on the way back. Let's just follow this all the way back into the start and hear the onboard comms.
Full speed. Coming up. Watch the track, TP. Yep. Hitch. Speed here.
They're quite early on the way back here looking at this.
Coming up. Pretty deep here. He's up inside us, so we're flying forward up. High mode. Yeah. Full speed up.
I think they're early, and the Kiwis are in an interesting spot right now. Here's this high slow mode that we've seen Luna Rossa pull off so well. Can they actually get the Kiwis off their foils?
Next on me. Okay, back on me. Okay, bit going. Yeah. Release the jib. Okay, back up here, boys, and we're good. It's coming down a little.
Race it again.
Okay, coming up hard. Full wild. You've got the 5 lengths and a half gauge, please. Yeah. Copy. That'd be right.
March 10, 2021, race 1 of the 36th America's Cup match. Emirates Team New Zealand, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. No more secrets, it's all out in the open.
Stephen, this is the moment that every America's Cup cycle waits for anxiously. That first lineup, give the first bit of the advantage to the Emirates Team New Zealand, but it's speed and pace.
We flag this, Keko?
Yes.
Protest. Build. Big build.
It's a very aggressive move there from Luna Rossa, going for the luff, really trying to get a penalty there. If they don't get the penalty, they've pretty much thrown away the lead, and there you go, no penalty. So big advantage to Emirates Team New Zealand already in this race.
Yeah, I mean, we're right behind them. I mean, I felt the same thing. It was a desperate move. Luna Rossa hadn't quite executed that start, you know, as well as we'd seen before. They were slower than the opposition, and they're on the back foot now.
Coming up, feels all right.
Yeah.
Let's go back, take a look at where they wanted to protest. Call us through it, Ken.
Yeah, the boat on the left-hand side has right away. The boat on the right-hand side has to stay out of the way. The umpires deemed the boat on the right-hand side, or Emirates Team New Zealand did stay out of the way. Really aggressive move by Jimmy Spithill. Remember, there's the dual helm situation on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Jimmy's on the right-hand side. That was his call and his move, and it didn't work.
We expected aggression, and Jimmy Spithill tried his best to be aggressive, tried to protest, no penalty given, and it is advantage right now at this very early stage to Emirates Team New Zealand. And they will come around the mark ahead of the challenger of record. And the one thing you discover, look at these AC75s, they steer these things like race cars without a blink of an eye. And we just checked the gap now. That was the upwind leg, but what's going to be like downwind for both these boats? These are quick boats. Remember, both these teams had a hand in designing these 75-footers. 14 seconds the gap for Emirates Team New Zealand at the top gate. Well, we haven't heard too much from Emirates Team New Zealand. Let's go on board as they head on the downward leg. Leg number 2.
Come into a little more breeze.
Terehotai about to complete the second leg in this opening race. Around they go. Throwing it around is Peter Burling.
Trying to actually get on the braces. A little bit splitting, I don't think we can make it.
And in comes Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. The gap has lengthened. It was 14 at the first mark. It's 23 seconds at the second gate.
Nobody's getting smoked out there right now. There isn't a massive speed difference, is there?
No, you're right. I mean, we didn't really know what to expect, and watching the Kiwis training for the past 2 months, they have looked fast, so we did wonder if that might be the case, but not much in it at all. Perhaps on the downwind leg, you know, slightly able to sail a little bit deeper, the Kiwis, but, you know, we wondered if they would be a bit race rusty, but there's been no signs of that. Very polished execution by the Kiwi boat, and very relaxed racing. Even just listening to them on board, you know, they're giving Pete a bit of a hard time still, and just like they're out on a training run. But this is for sure a long way from being over.
The gap's starting to tighten up a little bit.
Yeah, came back into him a little bit. Maybe that right side of the race course didn't quite pan out. It is amazing how these guys tend to sail their own race. They aren't big on that, quote, match racing, that tight tactics, which we've seen other boats handle during the event.
You'd imagine these guys have been waiting for this race for a long time. There's a lot of pressure on them internally and also externally, and they don't want to let down anyone. So far, so good. Luna Rossa look like they're still coming into them a little bit, but pretty comfortable lead right now for Emirates Team New Zealand.
Emirates Team New Zealand about to complete the halfway stage, and round the right-hand markers, we see it on the screen, and around they go. It still beggars belief how they throw these around, Kenny. I'm constantly fascinated by it. Question, has Luna Rossa made up some time? It was 23 seconds at gate 2, and they have made up a smidge, now 19 seconds.
You can see, like, the performance-wise, Prada have actually done really well. They're still in this, and it doesn't look like there's a lot between them performance-wise in a straight line, upwind or downwind, in this race so far.
My first inclination here is this could be a series. This is not a runaway train for the Kiwis right now.
Now, I'm right there with you, Kenny. I mean, basically, the Italians made a slight error on the start, and then made that punchy call to go for, you know, to go for a rule infringement. But they haven't been left behind. They are both sailing the boats so incredibly well. It's very, very impressive to watch.
And around they go, the mark again, and just get back to business. 2 to go ahead of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. "17 seconds, the gaps. They've taken 2 seconds out of the lead and the downwind leg.
You know, today's about checking in with your competition. Is your boat competitive enough to win? And the moment that Jimmy Spittle went for that luff to try and draw that penalty, he was either going to get the penalty and get in front, or he's going to be behind, and he was never going to get a proper speed check with the other boat.
Yeah.
You know, had he have luffed and realised he wasn't going to get them, just dropped the board and tacked, he might have got a split, and we would have had a 50-metre deficit. But instead we had 150 metres, and now it's bouncing between 200 and 300. So
as we've learned, these boats, their sailing skills have created perfection in watching these boats go around the race course.
I think there's a big left shift right now. Look at these meters coming down quite quickly.
Prada are right in it. They maybe have made a little click back there, so you could be a bit of a shift to the left.
Emirates Team New Zealand, penultimate leg done in race number 1 of the America's Cup match, and 1 leg to go. Have Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli eaten into that very small lead? It was 17 seconds at gate 4, Wallaby at gate 5. Not too much more at all. 20 seconds the gap, and it's the run home to take first blood in the match. And that lead gets further for Emirates Team New Zealand. Here we go. It is race 1 of the match. And Emirates Team New Zealand, the defender. It is race 1 and done. The W goes in the corner for Emirates Team New Zealand, and they get first points in the opening race of the match for the 36th America's Cup. Peter, no race to us there. That must be a satisfying result.
Yeah, well, it's definitely obviously good to get off the line and get a few shifts up that first beat. We found ourselves on the wrong side of everyone up the second beat, but never really thought it was worth to do the extra manoeuvre. Probably a wrong move in hindsight, but yeah, really happy with the pre-start and the way that the whole team's got the boat in good shape.
Let's go ahead to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Francesco Bruni is on standby, waiting to have a wee chat. Well, Francesco, you know you're in a race.
Yeah, that's the good news. The performance of the boat seems to be pretty close, and so it's exciting times ahead.
So a race rusty Team New Zealand takes first point with a 31-second victory. But this fight has only just begun. There's plenty of intrigue and action to come. The battle for the 36th America's Cup is underway. Team New Zealand have drawn first point. Can they maintain that winning momentum? Let's head to the back paddock for race 2. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli has port entry and Emirates Team New Zealand are on starboard.
The boat coming in on starboard tack, the Kiwis put themselves in kind of a chase position, a push position.
Looks like jibing here on Luna Rossa, and New Zealand going high and tacking. They're going to push from above. They don't really want to engage too much by the looks of this.
A bit of a match race move here, really. Pushing from above is typically easier. You can push boats down the line that much more effectively.
The longer the boats are slower here, the better it is for the lead boat.
Both boats high and slow mode. Really interesting. We haven't seen anything like this in quite a while. Let's see if the Kiwis can actually try to push over the bow and try to get to leeward with the left-hand side.
Going speed. Oh, he's going behind.
Going behind. Jimmy Spithill just called it for us.
Got your board, Joshy? Yeah. Okay, bearing away here a little.
Inside 30 seconds to start of race number 2 in the match.
Racing, almost racing.
Francesco Bruni called their racing, which means Team New Zealand might be a little bit late for this start.
All the way, go.
Left-hand shift perhaps too here.
It's going to be attack. I think we tack with him.
3, 2, 1, what's coming down?
And we're a go on race number 2 of the match. Straight away, Emirates Team New Zealand split.
Jimmy Spithill called that. Let's match right away. So he's right smack into match race mode.
What's coming down? No, it's
Straight away, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli tack on them, and they're keeping them on the short side of the boundary. This has all been set up by a bad start from Emirates Team New Zealand. Bad time on distance, handed the start to Luna Rossa, and now it's all about, can Team New Zealand find a way around them, or is Luna Rossa going to be able to keep them behind? New Zealand are doing a great job holding in a tough spot there.
Very impressive, actually. This is, as all sailors know, being in that position that the Kiwis are in right now is really hard.
Look at the speeds now. Boat speeds are down at 30s. They were 35 before, now they're 30s. This is an intense high mode right now, really trying to punish the boat behind. The longer Team New Zealand stay there, the further in front Luna Rossa are going to get.
So race number 2 of this match, the 36th America's Cup, and the roles are reversed. Heading to the top gate for the first time, and it's Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli ahead of Emirates Team New Zealand as they come around the mark.
The Kiwis tacked a little early on this ley line right there, right into the bad air. So actually kind of some unforced errors we've seen for the first time in a long time in this race so far. Boats are tight, close together, maybe a little bit of nerve, you just never know.
Emirates Team New Zealand come around gate number 1, 13 seconds behind Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
So now the real question is Emirates Team New Zealand a faster boat downwind? You know, they're not going to have any disturbed wind right now. They're basically following around the track. If they're a faster boat, they're going to pull in meters down this downwind.
It's down a little build here. It's going a little soft.
Yeah.
Stand by. 3, 2, 1.
There you go. And now that jibe right on the ley line. That red line there is the the ley line, and they'll have software on their boat telling them exactly where to jibe as well. So plan coming in here will be a left-hand turn, I suspect, for Luna Rossa, and the real question is Emirates Team New Zealand going to follow them around the same mark, or are they going to jibe and split the course?
Looking strong, looking confident as they round the mark and head up on leg number 3. 13 seconds at the top gate. And slightly less at the bottom gate. They've picked up a second.
Tight move there, Nathan, at the bottom end. That was slick by the Kiwis to split away. That we have seen. That is not an easy maneuver at all.
Luna Rossa right now are really controlling this race.
And Stephen, they're pushing. They're now slowly setting the Kiwis up to start pushing them to the left side of the race course. They obviously like the right side, so they're slowly but surely setting the Kiwis up to force them out to the left-hand side of the track and kind of pin them in.
Luna Rossa to me look like they're making small gains every time they tack. Whenever the boats sail in a straight line, the numbers get a little bit closer, and whenever they tack, they just grow a little bit again. And I feel like maybe there's a small advantage to Luna Rossa in the tacking. So they're trying to make New Zealand do lots of tacks.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli in control of race number 2 of the match in course E out on the Hauraki Gulf. And they've stretched their lead on the defender Emirates Team New Zealand. 13 seconds at gate 1, 12 at gate 2. What will it be at gate number 3? You're about to find out, but again, they sharp maneuver and away they go downwind.
49.8 knots going around that mark.
That's
Luna
quick.
Rossa. That's okay. That's not bad.
Stand by.
Emirates Team New Zealand finally making it to the halfway stage of race number 2, and the gap is stretched in favour of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. It's now out to 25 seconds.
Right now, I'm thinking Emirates Team New Zealand, all they can really do is set themselves up to get out of phase again on the upwind and try and attack once again on the last upwind.
Stephen, you can hear the relief and the people breathing from all over Italy as we speak. This is a really good sign for the Italians. It is coming down to a sailor's race. By the way, this is good for us. This means these boats are pretty darn close, and the sailors are going to make a difference here.
They'll throw it around the mark and head back upwind for the penultimate leg in race number 2.
And roll it into a tack on port tack, coming at the starboard tack boat.
In comes Emirates Team New Zealand. 25 seconds at the top gate, 24 seconds at the 4th gate. So a bit like the last race, almost a deja vu moment. Nothing in this but roles reversed.
It looks like this has closed up a bit. Maybe that tack right around the leeward mark got a little cute. They could have spread the race course out a bit and been a little more controlling.
I think you're spot on. I think initially, you know, they're probably thinking they're not laying, so we'll be smart and we'll do the tack around the mark because they're going to have to jibe and go to the other mark and we'll be on their face. Turns out that they got a little bit too smart and gave up a bit of leverage and did a few extra manoeuvres, but they're still in front, 200 metres in front. I don't think anyone's panicking right now.
And Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli head on the final leg downwind, leg number 6 in race 2 of the match. It was 24 seconds at the last mark. They've split in half, 50% gain on the penultimate leg, 12 seconds, and it's the race to home.
Lee, you're the tactician on the Kiwi boat right now. Is there any magic wand, any magic bullet out there that gets you by?
They're in a good bit of pressure right now, so they did the right thing there, jibing. There's a little bit of a funnel almost down the middle of the course looking at it. But, I mean, Prada, I think, have really got to slip up here for it to go back to Emirates Team New Zealand's way.
It's getting a bit closer and a bit tighter. And if you're an Italian fan right now, you might be starting to want to hold your breath a little bit because you can feel Team New Zealand breathing down their neck a little bit more.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, beaten by 31 seconds in race number 1 of the match. This time you can hear the quiet satisfaction. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli take out race 2 of the match, and we are all tied up at 1-1. 7 seconds the gap. Now that's a race. So just a quick update on the scoreboard. Here we go. After day 1 of racing and 2 races, we are all level. 1 apiece. Remember, in this America's Cup, first to 7 wins will win the America's Cup. Let's go on board Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. This time we'll talk to Jimmy Spittle because he likes talking to us when he gets a win under the belt. And Jimmy, what a difference 30 minutes can make between races, hey?
Yeah, I thought the boys sailed a great race then. We had obviously quite a lot of manoeuvres, quite a lot of tacks. And yeah, just kept the boat going well. So it was a good sign of strength, I thought, to bounce back after that first one.
All right, let's go on board Emirates Team New Zealand, have a quick chat to Peter Burling. I said just a moment ago, it's amazing what can happen inside 30 minutes, Peter. So, okay, where do you think you might have got this one wrong?
Yeah, well, we definitely didn't get the best start. You know, we kind of quite liked the right looking up the beat, so we were kind of quite keen on that woman position, but then just didn't do quite a good enough job of the roundups. Ended up skidding sideways and falling into them, which was a bit of a shame, but yeah, we definitely looked a little bit rusty there in that one, but you know, it's good to get back into them on that last speed and, you know, really show that, you know, we are good downwind. You know, it felt like had there been another lap, we might have had a good chance.
Nice work, Pete. You 1-1, another day off. I know you're going to be busy tomorrow. We'll see you back on Friday, bud.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
No mai haere mai, and welcome to the land of the long white cloud, Aotearoa, New Zealand, and Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, battleground for the 36th America's Cup. It's day 2 of the big show, and after a build-up filled with bluster, allegations of gamesmanship, and talk of one-sided racing, both teams put their form, strength, and weaknesses on show. What did we learn? Don't assume anything. We've got a boat race. So as we head into day 2 of racing, it's 1-1. 1 race win apiece. Te Rehotai won the first race of the series by 31 seconds. Luna Rossa bagged the second by 7 seconds. First to 7 wins the America's Cup. Today, the Italians will have port entry for race 3, while the defenders will come in from starboard. The breeze is light. Let's head to the back paddock. Course E for the start.
It's a good, strong position for the Kiwis, but look out for the dirty air, that bad air, that wing wash of Luna Rossa right now. That's one thing that they have to be very careful and mindful of.
They will probably take if they come up, we go up. Okay, no? Good.
Looks like a lead back position by the Kiwis right now, jiving to the inside, still with over a minute to go.
Okay, board's just come now.
Board's coming up.
Yeah, speed and do a recheck.
So we just check this.
Yeah, he's two boarding. He's one boarding.
Looks like he's close to not getting up to this line.
Yeah, yes. Probably he cannot shut.
Looks like the Kiwis are marginally off their foils right now. They got slow in that maneuver.
Really strong position for Luna Rossa here at this point in time. If Emirates Team New Zealand can get it up and going and lay the pin end, could be an even start still.
So he's due on the line, I think.
30 seconds to the start of race 3.
2 boards down, trying to slow up.
Time and distance critical to make the start a perfect one.
Happy to charge here.
Start to push now. Positive 2
Good
feet.
separation.
Only just on the pin, but all good.
Down a bit, maybe. Yeah,
Under one up here. All the way.
We are go. Race 3 of the match in the 36th America's Cup. Clean start by both. Emirates Team New Zealand, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli.
We laid out and let the sailors do the commentary for us, Nathan. It was just 2 boats that were kind of in control, kind of okay with where they were, and a fairly even start. As they approach this first border in that first crossing, remember, Prada will have to give the Team New Zealand the right of way when they tack to port if they get into that zone, if they get into this zone. And you'll see product go probably fairly soon.
3, 2, 1, port down.
1, port. Good. Just cover.
So what we'll expect now is Luna Rossa to lure it in front. They're in a leave-bow position here. This is the long landing across the other boundary. If Luna Rossa can go a high mode, Team New Zealand might struggle. We saw this several times against Ineos and also against American Magic. Prada having this high, slow mode, squeezing the competitor off.
And a little better tack, Shirley. Going out to you on the water, it looked like, again, Luna Rossa was a little better on that tack. And when we're so close, just a few meters makes a huge difference.
Kenny, we're right behind them, and you're absolutely right. Also, Luna Rossa really quickly to get up to pace. I was watching their BMG as well, you know, a knot or two higher. And look, just left New Zealand with no choice. Very, very impressive manoeuvring by the Italian team.
So there we go, one there. Go one there, take the favour, go.
No wider.
So good discussion of Luna Rossa there. Talking about, are they going to tack on them or are they going to go off into the boundary and minimise attack? They decided to minimise the attack, and clearly they're confident in their boat speed.
No kidding, and actually that was kind of interesting because you tack on the Kiwi boat in that spot, you shove them right back over to the short side of the racetrack. But yeah, this is confidence in your boat when you just let your guy go like that.
But this comes as no surprise, surely, with the way they operated and got better and better in the Prada Cup, and they've just moved straight into the match with that same confidence.
Yeah, but remember, they tack better. So if you tack better, we think they tack better at this stage. If you tack better on the Italian boat, why not get the other guy tacking more?
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli carrying on from race number 2, and they will lead Emirates Team New Zealand around the mark. But have they let them off the hook?
There will be a split. They obviously did fine on that cross, but there will be a split on this run.
A 10-second lead to Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli when they head down on their first downwind leg. Emirates Team New Zealand were steaming down, but it will still be in the deficit. They will have to make another jibe to get into that gate area as Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli head towards the downward gate for the first time, and they will round it, leading an Emirates Team New Zealand side that have made ground. It was 10 seconds at the top gate. What will it be at the bottom? Have they found any advantage?
Go aero, boys, when you can.
It's not going to be much, but they're still going to be behind. Emirates Team New Zealand, the defender, 1-all in this series at the moment. Has a 13-second deficit. They've lost 3 seconds on the downwind leg. The question that any fan that is maybe new to yachting, Nathan, is where does the magic come from and what do you do?
Well, the magic right now is trying to find a little bit of extra pressure, trying to get a little bit of leverage, a bit of separation from the competition, try and find that little bit of extra speed. And if you can just start closing the distance down, start attacking, force an error from your competitor.
Similar to what they were doing on the downwind leg, right? Splitting the course and finding some pressure.
There's lots of talk about boat speed differences, but it's also got a lot to do with the angles at which they're sailing. I think Team New Zealand probably are going through the water faster, and hopefully after the race we can get a bit of data to show the speed differences. But for me, it's the angles. It's how good Prada are at sailing a high mode. Their tack losses look less with those bigger foils, and they look like they're sailing a little bit slower on average, but the angle they're sailing to the wind is narrower. So they're ending up doing less distance. So in these lighter winds, the bigger foils are working for them right now.
Calm and controlled racing again from Luna Rossa as they round the mark. It was 10 seconds at the first mark, 13 seconds at the second mark. What will it be at the third? 27 seconds behind the challenger. Wow.
To it's actually quite light at the bottom of the course. It's, you know, 8, 9 knots, but they always seem really powered up, and I think the Kiwis less so, you know, bigger angles coming out of manoeuvres, and you know, it's much harder. I think you're right. I've been watching the numbers as we've come down this run, Kenny, and the Kiwis have a bit more. They have a bit more depth for sure.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli complete the 4th leg. They're on their penultimate leg now, heading on the upwind. It was 27 seconds at the top. What will it be here? Well, as we sort of suspect, a little bit more downwind speed from Emirates Team New Zealand, but it's still 22 seconds and there's a long way to go.
We've been watching Emirates Team New Zealand around. They haven't made any mistakes. The crew work on board looks slick. You know, the manoeuvres are good, but to me, it just doesn't look like their boat's motored correctly for this lighter wind.
Strong, confident, and smooth.
Okay, all yours.
1 leg to go for the challenger of record. 22 seconds it was at the end of leg number 4. What will it be at the leg number 5? Emirates Team New Zealand now finally getting to the gate. And the margin has strung out just a little bit more in favour of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli at 38 seconds.
It feels like reasonable pressure here at the moment, Pete. Yeah, I think we've got to go boundary here. Yeah.
This is all about development. If you remember back to December, these guys were quite a bit off the pace, but remember, they didn't have their final set of foils on. They've done a lot of aerodynamic changes to this boat. I bet you they've changed the rudder, they've changed the way they sail the boat, new sets of sails. Max Serena said it's all about upgrades.
We might be seeing a pivotal moment in the America's Cup match on the Hauraki Gulf, because Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli has just won another race. They go ahead 2-1 in the match against the defender, and you can bet those fans of Luna Rossa are pretty happy about that. Francesco, they say winning is a habit, and early in the match, you've won the last 2. This must feel good. What did you guys do so well today in this first race of the day?
I think we just sail a clean race. We had our plan, and we executed well on the start. And from there on, we had the opportunity to make them pay that left boundary, and we did it.
On board Emirates Team New Zealand with Peter Burling. What did you make of the team's performance in that race?
Yeah, well, we're, I think, definitely pretty happy with the performance. You know, something, obviously, it's nice to come away with a win, but, you know, we thought we did not a bad job off the line. We kind of changed to wanting the leeward position during that pre-start, but then, yeah, they obviously got a little bit too much gauge to the right, so they could get a nice leeward attack, and, you know, then they did a pretty nice job for there, and we really found it hard to get any shifts to get into it. You know, we had to do a couple of extra manoeuvres on, well, both the first run and that first beat, which, you know, really put us a little bit too far behind to catch up.
So a bad day in the office for Emirates Team New Zealand. They drop a point to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, who led from go to woe. It was a commanding victory. Can they maintain the momentum? We'll be back with race 4 after the break. So the light winds are working in Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli's favour. They've broken the deadlock and extended their lead. Do they have a slight edge? Well, the Kiwis are an America's Cup superpower. This series is far from over. Let's head to the back paddock for race 4. Emirates Team New Zealand has port entry. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli has starboard.
3, 2,
In comes
1.
Emirates Team New Zealand, first entry for race 4 of the match. And just on their tail will be Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in starboard.
The jibe here, we check around, I think.
Put it. Good jump. Can't make it. I don't know if he's jumping. Okay, he's not jumping. Slow down or up? Where is it? Hold it here. Coming hard up, please. Coming hard up now.
2, 1, lower down.
Going straight. Josh, you got this board?
Kind of setting up in similar positions to the last start right now. Both of them with similar size jibs and similar size sail packages right now. But the Kiwis are dangerously close to being off their foils, but they seem to be able to pop up pretty easily from this spot.
Not too low, I think. Okay, good. You can see them, I think. Can you see them?
It's not foiling. They could be coming in here for a hook. They're going on the attack here. Jimmy Spittle on the attack.
You better be sure you can attack from here if you're going to get yourself down in this spot, though.
Yeah. Speed.
Yes. Can't make sense. Down 5, down 1 forward.
Sussing the line.
New Zealand pretty early once again.
Maybe you can go above coming. Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. You can come down here.
Both going to reach down the line.
Try and get a good charge in.
Charging. No lower, no lower.
Start race 4 of the America's Cup match. Nervous start for Emirates Team New Zealand, but they are away.
But much tighter. This is very different from the last start. Prada started much closer to the hip of the Kiwis. The Kiwis should be able to fend them off this time around.
Put down.
Yep. There you go, Luna Ross attacking straight away. Peter Burling said he was happy with his first start, but they gave too much gap. Tight to leeward is strong and wide and right is strong, and this time Emirates Team New Zealand win the starting battle.
And the transition here. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Forward down.
Well, definitely up and down a little bit more than we saw before, and on the other coast of Auckland, the wind's in the other direction, so potentially something could happen. It's definitely way more unstable. Lighter patches down to 6, 7 knots now.
Here comes the key moment. Stephen?
15 seconds away.
Starboard tack boat, Luna Rossa has right away at the top of the screen.
5 away.
Have we potentially seen our first pass? I'm not so sure.
Where has he got him, man?
He's rebounding.
Copy. No, it's still trying to jib on, guys. Jib's really wide here. 2, 1, put down.
Carrying on. Yeah. 9.
The attacking duel begins.
Who thought? Who would have thought?
5.
Happy boundary tack, eh? He's going all the way to boundary. Numbers just dropping, but all good, still over. Yeah, he can't get one with big gain, but I think it looks like it left those. Looks like a little bit of power.
You can hear them talking about better pressure on the left right now.
On the other side of the court.
That looked like the cleanest tack we've seen them do yet. That one. That was really interesting. And maybe even a higher flight ride. So they're always trying something. That's what it sounds like to me, that they're still trying to figure this out.
What do you reckon? Quite far inboard on the sheet. I mean, I reckon just up from left side. Yeah, copy. Yep, great. Okay, no problem. Lighter over to the right, yeah. Transitioning. 3. A little bit out. Yeah. 1.
Heading towards the top mark for the first time in a race 4 of the match between Emirates Team New Zealand and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. It's tight already at the top mark. Who will get around first? You're about to find out. It's mere seconds. And it will be Emirates Team New Zealand leading for the first time in 2 races. And around the top mark they go for the first time. It won't be a huge gap. And they head down on leg number 2. Not much at all. 9 seconds.
All yours.
It's definitely the closest race we've had so far of the match. 50 metres downwind. We're used to seeing more like 150 metres. So see how much a jibe loss is here. Luna Rossa just jibing now. It's going to go from 50 just over to 100. That shows you how much distance they're getting lost in manoeuvres.
Sigh of relief for Emirates Team New Zealand at this particular point, but you just know in this match and these AC75s, it can be a one-mistake race, but around they go. Emirates Team New Zealand with the lead in race number 4 and getting around gate number 2 to head up on the upwind leg for the 3rd.
Slow jibe there by Luna Rossa, almost off the foils down to 18, 19 knots. Doesn't even look like they may make this mark. If they do, it's going to be barely, probably with both boards down.
Turning up. 3, 2, 1, turning.
And that's a big gap, and we're not even halfway through this race.
Yeah,
it was 34 seconds. One mistake.
That's probably the first error we've seen by either team in the last 2 days, that bad jibe there by Prado, and it's effectively let what was a pretty close race into now quite a large lead. And if you make a mistake like that, you're now just waiting for the other team to make the mistake.
Oh, it's tough, isn't it? I mean, it was interesting between the races. The brains trust on the Kiwi boat spent the entire time together just thinking about what they can do, and for sure they would have felt the pressure. And wow, they came out and won that start. So I think you have to keep it together. It's been a long time since we've seen such an error in manoeuvring. We've kind of got used to it all just happening, you know, at 100%. But tough now for the Italians, really, to come back into this.
It's a healthy lead as they complete the halfway stage of this race. Leg 3 of 6 done.
You could hear the guys chatting on board. The breeze is dropping a bit. That means that the manoeuvres are getting harder and harder to pull off. Pretty nice jibe there by Emirates Team New Zealand. They're going to lay the bottom gate here. Prado's still got another jibe to go.
Big lead in race 4 of the match in the America's Cup out on the Hauraki Gulf. And it's the defender Emirates Team New Zealand who need this win to level the match up. And they will go into gate number 4 comfortably ahead. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli now approaching the end of leg number 4, and the lead somewhat has blown out in favour of Emirates Team New Zealand. Board issues on that third leg has really cost them, and it's a 48-second gap now to the lead.
And the Kiwis are stretching, and remember, I don't think we've seen this boat lose a light air race in a long time. Even when they made a couple mistakes against the Brits, they got past. They got themselves back in the race, and actually that was the last time we ever saw a pass.
2, 1. Get some tacking happening here.
They'll head into the top gate for the last time and then head on the downwind leg. And there will be sighs of relief, I can imagine, too. Because they've sailed, like Luna Rossa in the first race, they've sailed a good race.
A couple key moments here, Nathan. That start, and then then what was a close race got pretty far apart with that one botched jibe down at the bottom at that set gate number 2, first leeward mark.
Well, if you thought that the Luna Rossa win by 37 seconds was a statement win or a pivotal moment in this America's Cup match, maybe we need to rethink that, because the gap is such now that this is going to be a very encouraging win by Emirates Team New Zealand. 58 seconds. They've pulled another 10 seconds out of that leg, that upwind leg. They are back in the groove, baby, and they are going to lock up this match. They will win race 4 of the 36th America's Cup, and we have got a tied ball game, as they say. Scorecard now, Emirates Team New Zealand 2, Luna Rossa 2. Let's head to Emirates Team New Zealand. Flight controller Blair Chew going to have a chat with us. Well, that must feel better, Blair. A confident, a near flawless performance by Emirates.
Yeah, that was a really good race for us. Just got off the start line slightly better than the race before. Very similar positionings, but we just managed to get the jump on them before the boundary, and boat's going really well, and yeah, managed to extend nicely.
Hey, Blair, congrats on the win. 2-all must be a good feeling after today. We had some really good camera angles over your boat as you're going downwind with some cool technology in that boat. You know, cameras looking at foils, controllers everywhere. Can you give us some insight on the kind of technology that's inside your boat?
Spill it. What he's trying to say is spill it. Come on, we need some dirt. Let's go.
It looks great.
It sounds like you already got it all from the camera angle, so not much point me passing too much on. But no, yeah, I can, Pete, but I haven't got much longer. Yeah, Yeah, no,
that's all good, mate. We got to keep moving. Congratulations. And
he was just about to give us all
no,
the
he
dirt.
wasn't. He wasn't going to tell us the secrets.
We'll try again later.
Blair, thanks for your time, mate. We've got to get some words from Jimmy Spittle on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. I heard you coming across the line, Jimmy. Bad luck, but not a bad day. Are you satisfied?
Yeah, no, we 1-1 scoreline. Great racing from both teams. Full credit to the Kiwis. Did a nice job in that race. Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow.
Welcome to day 3 of the 2021 America's Cup match, live from Aotearoa, New Zealand. This edition of the match is turning into a classic. 4 races down, and we are none the wiser. Defender and challenger cannot be separated. We are deadlocked. Honours are shared at 2 wins apiece. The Cup was once referred to as New Zealand's Cup. It's still anyone's Cup. This is a best of 13 series. First to win 7 will hold the old mug aloft. The breeze is light. Emirates Team New Zealand have port entry. The challengers, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, will come in from starboard.
So what I'm most interested in today is what is the starboard entry boat going to do to try and break this curse of the starboard entry? Is it a myth or is it real? And I think in these lighter winds, that double manoeuvre gets really tough.
We've already seen a little bit of a break in the action where Prada is actually sticking themselves well down to leeward or to the right side of Emirates Team New Zealand, kind of taking almost like a blocking move towards the jibe that is likely coming on the red boat.
Easy leading, easy leading.
Up. 4 out, 2, 1, yep. No, turn up, Lenny. 24 knot.
On the wind here. What's coming up?
Both boats have gotten quite slow here, Nathan. Really slow and dangerously close to being off the foils.
There you see that shot there. 20 knots is about the bottom speed they can keep it on the foil. Prada with the bigger foils can hang there a little bit longer. Both boats really struggling right now, or just early and killing time.
Trimming up. I might here a little.
We will gain
Gotta
time
get
on
him in the gas if we can.
Luna Rossa looking very strong at the
we will
moment.
gain time on the wave, okay?
Question is, are they early?
Kiwis are just trying to get up in the air right now, Nathan. I'm not so sure they're out of the water yet, and they're using that kind of that 90-degree wind angle to pop out of the water. Got them right down into bad air and in a really bad spot.
Okay, just charge here, charge the battery. Pass on the line, trimming up slowly.
No worries. Little up,
Trimming up, go.
Yeah, we're just going to get to attacking speed. Yeah.
Time to go racing. It's race 5, the 36th America's Cup match. And Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli across the line first.
Wow.
A little longer then, we hold. Just a little.
The smaller foils in the lighter winds and the pre-start, and you can't get caught slow. That was leading back a little bit early on Emirates Team New Zealand, having to go slow, dropping off the foils and having the smaller foils and struggling to take off.
We all knew that one of the factors going into this was going to be the foil size and the ability of this boat to actually do down speed maneuvers in the pre-start. Would that be an advantage? Could they put themselves in a position to make it an advantage? They did, and they absolutely crushed that start.
So much for that port tack entry favour.
Ow.
A massive error by Pete. I mean, you heard the slight panic in Blair Tuke's voice, you know, saying, you know, we're really, really early for this. And he knows that they have smaller foils and yet, you know, slowed down. A huge error. But it's closing up here, Kenny. This is far from over.
The port tack entry boat, Team New Zealand, gets to choose when they come back. And Jimmy Spill and Francesco Bruni said, no, we're going to go back a little bit earlier because we know we can handle sailing slower on our bigger foils. So they happily took the lead. Both boats got really slow, and then they just climbed up out of that 17 knots, got on the foil, and great judgment by Francesco Bruni, Jimmy Spittle, and the whole crew on board. There's more than 2 people on that, but, man, it was played really well on that start to those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, just keep an eye on him after the barrel away.
Yeah.
I'll start your turn on the mark.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli go around the top mark.
Good there.
Cool and confident. Just listen to the comms going on. They are so relaxed. And really, on the first leg, Kenny, when you take a look at this, that difference is going to be a healthy one in favour of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
They're right down to every little detail as well. You heard Francesco Bruni talk about, let's continue here on port jibe, and we actually give them dirty gas. By gas, they mean disturbed air coming off the sails as they're passing, going upwind. So no matter how far ahead you are, you're always trying to make it a bigger distance.
Turning down.
And I was quite surprised, Kenny, that they headed to the right-hand side of the track, you know, tucked right in under those spectator boats. There's like a good 1 or 2 knots different at the top of the track, and down the bottom it's much more even. And I could see that on I have the wind speeds coming off the 2 yachts. And Emirates Team New Zealand on the left-hand side of the track did have a knot or 2 more. They're also going faster.
It was 32 seconds at the previous mark. We know that it might be maybe a little bit less with the downwind speed of Emirates Team New Zealand, but doesn't matter. There's one boat in front and one boat chasing, and you know which way that is.
I had to chat with some of the Luna Rossa guys today about how come the hook never works in that pre-start scenario, and they said just that the gas, the disturbed air is so big that you never cut through it successfully. So I think it's become much more of an issue than perhaps they thought it was at the beginning of racing.
Yeah, I saw it a little more even.
Yeah, it was more even at the top. More pressure.
I'll tell you what, the meters behind are not getting larger. They're actually just kind of hanging in around 200, maybe even a little under right now. So again, the Kiwi boat has a fast mode. We know that. It always sails more distance, but man, are they fast, both upwind and downwind.
About to complete the halfway stage in this 5th race of the America's Cup match in 2021 out of the Hauraki Golf, this Course A, in front of a magnificent spectator fleet, and it's all Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli at the moment. Remembering it is a 2-all scoreline. How much of a psychological advantage will it be again to win first race of the day? Because they seem to have a little bit of a habit of doing that. Looking at the clock on the bottom right of the screen, it appears that there's been small gains by Emirates Team New Zealand. 32 seconds at the bottom gate. They've picked up 10 seconds. That's a good upwind gain.
Talk about protecting the left side of the course. All those blue dots is Luna Rossa. All those yellow dots are the Kiwis. Luna Rossa wanted the left-hand side of the course, and they took it almost exactly down the middle of the race course. Phenomenal. That's great. That's great. A great show by Virtual Eye there, guys. That's match racing.
We keep using this one word, but flawless still comes to mind when you think about Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. It is, wow. I mean, and it goes right back to before the Prada Cup final. The one key area they improved on was communication and getting everything right, and they are just rolling it right now as Emirates Team New Zealand finally get to that mark rounding and start the penultimate leg of race number 5 in this America's Cup match.
This is becoming kind of... We don't need commentators today. I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're going to attack them and protect the left side of the race course. Done. Thank you.
Almost through the boat side of it here, eh?
When you talk about control, it seems to come that you look at this boat, and when they're in front, they always look in control. They're not looking over their shoulder at all.
Still 200 meters, though, in a fast boat on a run to go. This is not breathe easy weather yet, if you're an Italian fan.
I'm going to say right now that this boat is being sailed beautifully, and they are, again, in control. They have dictated terms from the get-go.
Not their best rounding, though, I have to admit.
27 seconds at the 4th mark. 23 at the final mark before they head home.
I don't know, you got to say, if you are able to close a bit of time down going upwind while sailing in someone's dirt, your boat's going fast.
We go all the way at the moment, boys, in this lefty.
Luna Rossa, they've bossed this race course, haven't they? They've gone exactly where they wanted to go. Currently just right down the middle and the maximum pressure. It's hard to see, barring a mistake or, you know, a bit of a massive error by Luna Rossa, it's hard to see how the Kiwis are going to get past.
little pressure on now. And a little lefty again.
When you think that they are very close to snatching their third win of an America's Cup match, a team that has had its confidence building and building and building, how big a deal now as you head into race number 6? It feels a bit like moving day in the Golf Masters. When you want to make a play, you make the big play. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli will cross the line and go 3-2 up in the match. So an 18-second victory by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, but more importantly, they have gone to a 3-2 lead in the Cup match. Remember, they're 4 wins away. 4 wins away from lifting the old mug. How big has this race win been moving forward in this regatta? On board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, we go to Francesco Baruni, who will be quietly satisfied, very happy, Checo. But I got to say one thing here. Yesterday, Jimmy was asked in the press conference that winning from port was it a thing, and he said it's coincidence. You proved today you can win from starboard.
Yeah, as Jimmy teach us, it was just a coincidence. And I think we did a very good job on the start. And again, it proved to be an important part of the race. But also, I think we sailed a lot better than what we did on that second race yesterday. We did some very clean maneuvers. We sailed a lot cleaner, and the performance of the boat were up there. So I think it was the start, but also, yeah, the way we sailed the boat today.
Thanks, Francesco. Get ready for race number 6. We'll go on board Emirates Team New Zealand. Peter, do you want to talk us what happened at the pre-start?
Yeah, well, we obviously just fell off the foil above them, and thought we had a little more time to kill than we actually did, and didn't quite manage to get going again and take off. But yeah, obviously they shut down the race pretty well from there. Felt like we fought relatively hard and got close-ish at the finish, but they didn't give us too many options.
So, light and inconsistent winds put the Kiwis under pressure. The Italians call themselves underdogs, but they're sailing like favourites. We'll be back with more America's Cup AC 75 sailing after the break. Scoreboard momentum is the key to winning the America's Cup. The Italians and Kiwis traded wins on day 1 and day 2. Can Emirates Team New Zealand bounce back and draw level? Or will Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli go 2 races up? Let's head back to the water for race 6. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli has port entry. Emirates Team New Zealand has starboard. Once again, let the games begin, and who can win the pre-start?
Few seconds late by the Italians, and all of a sudden tight right behind, and you would think in a reasonably good position. They have to choose on Emirates Team New Zealand. Do they want to lead back or do they want to push? And they've decided to push.
Going now. No, milking.
Need to power up, ragazzi. Yeah, we'll be good here. Watch the boundary. Spanner. Thanks to Lewin. He's rounding up now on 2 boards. Board coming down. You'll see him there. We're late by the pin. Yes. Happy to come out relatively fast in forward. Good answer. That's right on pin time too. Good call if you want to hang high for a while.
We're going to go through the gas now.
Yes. Too early for the pin, guys. It's still early here. Yep. Pick up here. Nice.
So he didn't lead back. He decided to stay up high and keep it on the foils, and he's looking safe. He's not going to get shut out there. It's a question of can they pull the trigger and come rocketing off this line. Luna Rossa look like they are really struggling down there to me at the moment.
Struggling to get going there. Okay, a little bit transition Pete.
Coming in with heat right now. Looks like they're going to try to just roll right over the top. Luna Rossa looks late.
Very late, I think, yeah.
Winding up.
Wow.
Trimming up here. Stand by for the start.
Nice, mate.
The start of race number 6 in the match, and just when Emirates Team New Zealand needed to execute a good start, they've done the job. They need the win to stay in the match. Here we go. It's time to bring the heat.
Two things happened there. Pete Burling nailed it, and Jimmy Spittle got it completely wrong. I wonder, Shirley, if it went soft in the starting box or if the wind shifted left, because that was very, very strange to see Luna Rossa so late after they got to choose when to go back.
Nathan, well, Freddie spotted it from the helicopter. It's really, really patchy now. It's down to sort of 6, 7 knots at the bottom of the course. Just really bad timing from the Italian outfit. They came round and just sat in a real light spot and never got going.
Be soft out of this, obviously.
Power up, yeah.
Freddie, you're up in the chopper. You would have had a great bird's eye view of that. Do you think part of that would have been the fact that they jibed and sailed through the gas of the boats?
Yeah, there was a bit of that. Nate, the standout thing for me in that pre-start is when Luna Rossa turned down in the box their mainsail, right above their mainsail, and it was twisted the wrong way. They basically weren't powered up as they were going into the bottom of the box, and you could just see the speed unwinding on the boat. You could hear the mainsail trimmer saying, power up, power up, power up. He talked about the runner, and it just unwound from that point. They never got back on their feet.
We're quite late in the day, Kenny, and you know, this is Nathan's backyard. This is where he plays most days when he's at home, and this time of day, you know, it just starts to get really unstable, very patchy. You know, the lower wind speed is getting lower all the time, although we're still up, top speed still at 9 knots, so just up and down, more unstable than we've seen before.
Emirates Team New Zealand in a race they need to win to stay comfortably in this America's Cup match have executed a strong start, and on the first leg they will head into the top gate with a sizable advantage. Make no bones about it, it's a sizable advantage on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They will lead around that top gate. You do have to ask the question, Kenny, when you think you need to put the hammer down, as Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli could have, they've dropped the ball.
Yeah, but I go back to what Freddie told us with that really great observation from the helicopter and how the mainsail did not pop. There could have been some sort of power plant problem there, and we'll have to find out.
Pretty steady, same.
It's interesting to me that the Kiwis have been a little rough around the edges with their sailing. And boy, if I were the Italians, I'd be thinking we're missing an opportunity to try to really end this early before these guys get sharper, don't you think?
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I mean, I wouldn't go as far and say the Kiwis are rusty, but you can tell they have not raced all summer like the Italians have, and just the nuances of it, you know, just the positioning and the timing. You know, it's split seconds, and, you know, that's every race that goes by. Glenn said it this morning. You know, every race that goes by, they're just getting better and better and sharper and sharper. So I think you're absolutely right. Missed opportunity.
Emirates Team New Zealand have responded as they go down that bottom gate for the first time.
About 20 seconds. Up a couple feet. Yeah, just trying to get through this line.
Shirley Robinson out on chase one. Shirley, if you're Luna Rossa, what are your options right now?
Well, keep going, hope for the best. I mean, we've been watching the Kiwis a lot, Stephen. When they were off on their own, they look so slick. They're sailing like a small foiling boat, like a moth, you know, heeled on top of them, bow down. They just really look like they just get going and get rumbling once they get free of the competition. It's so impressive.
5 away from there, Pete. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we should left it.
A minute and 7 seconds was the last advantage.
Yeah, this is about to turn into a really big lead here.
Up on here at 5. -3 on hill. Definitely better pressure on that.
Closing on 820 metres between the two as we're about to complete leg number 4 in this 6th race of the 36th America's Cup, and it is Emirates Team New Zealand. You can imagine the noise being made on those spectator boats that are sitting outside a cracking virtual eye stadium. And Emirates Team New Zealand complete the 4th leg and will head up for the second to last time. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli about to complete the 4th leg. And the gap has lengthened somewhat on the downward leg in favour of Emirates Team New Zealand. The gap now 1 minute and 13 seconds. Let's go up to Heli 1 because, Freddie, the last time we spoke to you, you said there were big patches of nothingness. What are you seeing now?
Yeah, those patches of nothingness are still there, and it's still the top right-hand side of the course that poses that risk to the boats where Emirates Team New Zealand have just tacked. I've just slipped into spying mode a bit up here, which is great for me, and I was watching both boats tack, and I saw the 2 aft grinders on board Emirates Team New Zealand spin round, and it looks like they're flying the boat to me. I think that's Andy Maloney and Josh Jr., and as a grinder, to think that you go around the leeward mark, your max heart rate, trimming everything on, they say standby tack, and you have to completely decompress and then fly that boat in the turn. That was pretty awesome to see from up here.
As they head into the top gate for the final time and look towards that homeward leg. Emirates Team New Zealand trailing by a race win. And on the current scale of what we're watching, they should level this race up. Around the top mark they go.
That was a day of 2 halves, wasn't it? That easy, that second race.
Emirates Team New Zealand come across the line, and we are still locked up in this match. It is now 3-all between Emirates Team New Zealand and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
100 metres straight in front of us. Yeah. Nice work, fellas. Good comeback. Go on, boys.
So where does it stand now, the match in the 36th America's Cup? No different than it was 24 hours ago. We're locked up. It's just one more race win apiece. 3-all. You need 7 to lift the old mug. Let's go on board Emirates Team New Zealand and get some feedback as to what they thought about that win. We'll hear today from flight controller Blair Tuke. And Blair, you got to say, you guys nailed that start. How satisfying was that?
Yeah, that was a good one to have the boat speed like that. You know, big speed difference was very pleasing, and you know, just like yesterday, a really good reply from the guys. So yeah, good way to finish another tight day.
Let's go on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Jimmy Spittle is standing by. Jimmy, do you want to talk us through the start?
Yeah, basically, we were happy with our positioning. Unfortunately, we just got caught in a real light spot. We just could not get the boat going back to the line. Almost a bit of a reversal of the first start where the other guys, you know, sort of fell into a light spot and they couldn't get going. So, yeah, it was unfortunate, but, you know, not a lot of passing lanes from then on, unfortunately. It was just too big a jump, you know, after the start.
One final thought, Jimmy. This is a hell of an America's Cup match, isn't it?
It's what we live for. I mean, this is what it's all about. Great sporting battle. Great to see all the spectators. The Air Force come out this morning. It was, yeah, all in all, a great day. We're back to even, and, yeah, can't wait for tomorrow.
Koto katoa, and welcome to Aotearoa, New Zealand, where we prepare for Day 5 of the America's Cup on the waters of the Hauraki Gulf. The weather gods put the brakes on racing yesterday. Today, the forecast is far more friendly, which means the rivalry between Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and Emirates Team New Zealand has got the green light for go. Which means the battle for sailing's holy grail, the 36th America's Cup, is back on. The Italians and Kiwis are deadlocked. It's 3-all. Both teams are just 4 wins away from victory. Let's head to the course. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli has port entry, Emirates Team New Zealand starboard.
Looks like quite a bit bigger jib on the Luna Rossa boat, Nathan, than the Kiwi boat right now. Really one of the only real noticeable differences.
Yeah, that's a really good pickup. It's an indication on maybe one team thinks the wind's going to build a little bit, but again, I still think Luna Look at this start, you know, Team New Zealand here are really trying to put a bit of pressure on them, trying to block the jibe here, or at least thinking about jibing inside here. Let's follow this, see how they go. There you go,
Jumping them and getting back early. Let's listen on board.
Forward out on the breeze. 2, 1, forward. Yep, 2 forward. He's still supporting here. No, slow. He's pushing.
Looking like they're above ley line and looking like they're quite early.
24 on pin.
Quite early, and actually being slow there for a second actually was a benefit to the Italians. They got a nice little gap. Burling's going to have to bear away at some stage.
Can see a big gap between the boats when the start comes. Wide right for Italy here.
Here comes the slingshot move for Spithill.
Both boats over the line right now, having to do a big bear away to get going. It's all about the slingshot here.
Race 7 of the America's Cup match. We're at 3-all. Can anyone make a big move today?
They got tight there, Nathan, right at the end. Burling actually slowed the boat down a bit and got it tight. Is it tight enough to be able to fend off their position as they head towards this for the first time?
Well, it got tight and a little luff starting to come in, but Luna Rossa were over 5 knots faster at their gun, and look at this, they're starting to roll over them. Peter Burling goes for the luff, Jimmy Spithill responds, and now all of a sudden, Jimmy's pressing. You can hear Francesco Brin saying, press, press, press. Clear win for Luna Rossa in that start.
Really similar starting setup to race 1, Nathan, except it was a flip-flop. It was the other boat. It was the Kiwis starting the race so much quicker than the Italians. This is exact flip-flop, but really similar pattern to race 1.
Well played by Jimmy. I mean, they came back with so much time, more than 2 and 1 on the clock, and really did well to hit that line on time. A good half a knot or 1 knot quicker than the Kiwis. I mean, really well done. And tiny, tiny differences. And what we're seeing now is how that tiny difference just grows and grows and grows.
The Kiwis are keen to engage Luna Rossa in attacking duel, and we know that's a big strength of the Italians, and they've thrown in more tacks in the bottom half of this beat than we've seen previously. I'll be interested to see what the next move is from Emirates Team New Zealand. Have they just got their air clear forwards? This game is changing very quickly from the heli.
And then a match race broke out, you know, just tight. If you're the Italians right now, at least if I were on the Italian boat, I'm thinking that boat behind me is really fast. I'm just going to sit here and block and block and block. And they're going to have to really work to get through me.
I think when we see the meters get inside 50, that's when the danger zone starts to begin for Luna Rossa. Outside of that, they're still comfortable, but at some point up this beat, they've got to tack on their face, and they've got to give them disturbed air. Otherwise, New Zealand are going to keep closing this lead.
Luna Rossa are leading the way, but it's not a huge margin. Look who is right on their hammer. That's Emirates Team New Zealand. As Kenny Reid said, this is a match race.
1 way go. Up to 5, 3, 2, 1. We're coming down.
Racing's often a bit about your turn, my turn. See if Luna Rossa jibe in front or if they continue on here, but without doubt, Luna Rossa are holding their own on this downwind.
They're letting them go, I think, right now, because they'll probably try to work the geometry of the race course and go for 1 and in. They possibly could just do 1 more maneuver and get into that bottom gate. Let's see if that pans out.
And it was a good downward leg for the Italian challengers. They head on the start of leg number 3 of 6. Not too far behind. In come Emirates Team New Zealand.
Very controlling, very aggressive move by the Italians right there. I didn't see that coming. Forces the Kiwis, even though the Italians lost a little bit of distance there, it forced the Kiwis into a move right away. So they had to get out of the disturbed air of the Italians.
Any right-hand shift right now, Emirates Team New Zealand are back in this race. If they get a nice tack, Could be a port starboard situation coming up, and it looks like we've had a lead change, but a lead change isn't confirmed until they make the cross.
More pressure on our left.
Yeah, when it ends, I think we need to protect left if we can.
Yeah, little lighter here, kicks.
Kiwis on starboard, Stephen. They have the rights.
Hold your breath for just one moment. Match 7. Key moment or not. Hold your breath.
Okay, my rudder.
Slowly winding up past there.
Crossing.
A lot faster us, Pete. Happy to gauge up a little, take some gauge now, just for the safety. Already high.
It's a big moment in this race. If Team New Zealand can hold to the boundary here, they're going to convert this into a pass, and there'll be our first pass of the America's Cup.
I think it's an easy pass right now.
Get the speed, we start trimming up on high mode here.
They're faster, they're faster.
3, got to tack behind, 4 down.
Yes.
Here we go. May get a hook here.
Fast mode, yeah.
Normal mode. Won't get a hook here.
Deputy's good.
And there you have it, folks. A lead change.
Don't blink. It happened.
And everybody says you can't pass in the America's Cup in the 75-footers.
You bet that crowd's happy.
The bottom line, Nathan, is we saw it on the first beat, and we've seen it again. That Kiwi boat is ripping upwind. It is going really fast. We have not seen these speed advantages to either boat yet. This is big.
Yours cover.
Closing in on the halfway stage of race 7. And for the first time in this race, Emirates Team New Zealand lead Luna Rossa around the top mark.
Want to hit.
The Kiwis are smoking right now.
2, 1.
There were all those pre-race rumors, all the whispering of 3 and 4 knot speed differences at time. You know what? We've seen 3 or 4 knot speed differences this race, which is incredible to me, actually.
Leg number 4 of this 7th race in the match 2021 out on course E on the Hauraki Gulf. Swinging around like a go-kart, you might say. And they head up on that upwind leg. And suddenly the New Zealand flags fly high on the America's Cup village. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli go around 29 seconds adrift. That was I'm still stunned. We've seen the first lead change in a race.
Turning. Coming up now. Port's going down.
This is the boat speed that people have been talking about from Team New Zealand for a long time, and now it's just over that threshold. The speed is there, and they've got the angle back there on the breeze, and they're going same angle, but 3 knots faster.
3, 2, 1.
Emirates Team New Zealand are rounding the top gate for the last time in this 7th race of the America's Cup with a sizable lead on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, they'll be thinking about why and what went wrong in this race. They strong start by anyone's stretch of the imagination, and they nailed it. Emirates Team New Zealand in a match that featured the first pass of the match win race number 7, and they take a lead. They go up 4-3 when it matters. Let's go on board Emirates Team New Zealand, talk to Peter Burling, a 58-second win. Peter, that's the first time Emirates have gone back-to-back. You win race 6, you win race 7. How big a deal now this psychologically for your team?
Yeah, well, I think we got the last right shift of the breeze. We got that favoured right turn at the bottom, and then the early tack. We're on a massive left phase at that stage, and then got about a 10-degree right-hander, which got us a whole heap closer than they could have been. And from their leave-out tack, we managed to hold in there. So it was kind of, I suppose, a really pleasing thing for us is that we're just a lot of the things we practiced and been talking about, actually seeing them in action.
Nice work, Pete. Practice makes perfect. You've got one more race today. Go get them.
Thanks, guys.
On board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, waiting patiently, and thanks for your time, Francesco. You want to talk us through what went down on that race for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we had a fantastic start. Jimmy did a great job off the line and resisting that laugh. He did really, really well. And we tried to keep them behind us, but obviously without success. We have seen the first pass, unfortunately, was against us. But yeah, we are not giving up. We know that we can still, we won some races and we can still win races. So yeah, we'll keep fighting.
So after days of searching for consistency and inconsistent breeze, the Kiwis find form and pace in stronger winds and go 1 point up. Can the Italians come back? One thing is clear, the Cup is going nowhere without the mother of all fights. For days, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli and Emirates Team New Zealand traded wins. Is this the end of the deadlock? The Kiwis are 1 point up, but don't count the Italians out. There is a lot of racing to come and everything to sail for. Race 8 is about to get underway. Let's head back to the start box. Emirates Team New Zealand has port. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli is on starboard.
Speeds are even now. Good gap to windward right now for Emirates Team New Zealand. Could be a pretty even start coming off the line here.
Yep. Big push here, fellas. Lining up.
Go. Race 8 of the America's Cup match is on. Clean start by both.
Hey, not super strong here, Pete.
Instantly, they've gone into a high mode on Luna Rossa. They're trying to force Emirates Team New Zealand into attack, and there they go straight away. So first blood goes to Luna Rossa.
There's still just a little bubble of breeze on the left-hand side where Prada are. Still a little bit soft where Emirates Team New Zealand are going. It's going to be very, very close when they come back together.
Nathan, in the past, I'd say this is the race. The cross is the race, and we did see a pass, so we can't be that confident right now. But this is so critical, and it looks like it's gone the way of the Italians.
I think we cross.
The top left seems a bit better, but not here.
So they don't tack on them. There was a lot of discussion about where the best pressure was, and 70 metres, maybe that's not far enough of a lead to tack and consolidate, or maybe they think it's a bit softer on the left boundary, but around the race course, wind is trending down everywhere out there at the moment.
Little stretch by the Italians. Confidence booster early on in this race. Nathan, they needed a confidence booster after that first race. Right now, you got to give them credit. Looks like they've chosen the right jib. They've chosen the right side of the race course.
So I'm not looking at the wind on the race course right now. I'm looking a couple of miles upwind. I'm looking to see what's coming, what's going to be on the leg 4, 5 and 6, and it is going to get lighter. The breeze is softening up upwind of us, so the rest of this race I expect the breeze to be trending down.
Top gate for the first time in race number 8, and it's Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli leading Emirates Team New Zealand around the right-hand marker. 16 seconds. Now the chase downwind.
And the lead is decreasing here the whole time.
Ideally, overlaps to windward. Down. Good driving is going straight for us.
Jib on, boys. Jib's open.
Roll it down.
It's getting softer there. Freddie, is it getting softer out there right now?
It's getting super soft, Nathan, as I'm talking. I see Emirates Team New Zealand touch down in that critical jibe of Prada's hip, and Prada are sailing away in pressure. Emirates Team New Zealand are stuck in the water right now. Huge gains to Prada.
Big mistake number 1 in this series. Big mistake.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli right now sailing away from Emirates Team New Zealand on the second leg of 6 in race 8 of the match. And that face says it all. Flight controller Blair Tuke, they're beached right now. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli about to complete the second leg in race number 8, and they have gapped it on Emirates Team New Zealand, who are still trying to get up on their foils, way back up on the course. First windward leg done by Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, and around they go.
Long way to go here, though, boys.
That's exactly where I was going. I'm thinking we've got 2 more laps to go here, and these guys are going just fine. Luna Rossa are going just fine in the pressure they have, but they've got to go back through that light wind. There we go. Emirates Team New Zealand now up and foiling. So clearly there's enough breeze out there to get up and go, but you've got to find those puffs. And this is a monster of a lead at the moment. And here's a really tight situation. These boats are on different legs. New Zealand will get around them here, but this will be... haven't been that close for a while now, have they?
It's Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli on leg 3. Emirates Team New Zealand still to complete leg number 2.
3. Further.
Yeah, very soft here, very soft.
A bit light out of this, boys.
Mining, power up.
Massive cavitation there, boys, on that one.
Uh-oh, but keep it out of the water, boys. This lead could evaporate very quickly.
Yeah, crossing and...
if they take off, they might just save this here, but that is what they don't want to be doing. 16 knots is not foiling.
And dropping.
Oh, here it comes.
Yeah. You do that? Okay.
If you don't think you're going to take off, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Slowly coming up, boys.
There might just be another twist in race number 8 of this America's Cup match. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli as they inch towards the top gate and try and complete leg 3 are off their foils.
So they've decided to stay in the water, get around the mark if they can, and then they'll try to build after the mark.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli just cruise around the top gate and complete leg 3.
This is the race committee. We are shortening the course to 5 legs, finishing at the windward gate.
One more down, one more up. They're taking one leg away from this race course because the breeze has dropped dramatically. Kiwis on the foils, chewing up ground as we speak.
It's a little bit of a puff here.
Yeah.
It's a little bit closer, Emirates Team New Zealand. They're tacking away, and now they can see Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
They can see the whites of their eyes right now. This is starting to get scary for the Italians.
They've literally not gone downwind at all.
Freddie, what are you seeing from up there, my friend?
I'm seeing right now this is the tack of this race which is coming up on Emirates Team New Zealand. If they stick this tack and foil around the windward gate, there will be a lead change. But Prada are sailing into better pressure on the left-hand side. These are the moments that will decide this race.
Here it comes.
Let's watch this.
What happens?
This is the tack.
One, forward. Haven't got much yet.
And I think they've nailed it, guys. Still 20 knots at boat speed. They're foiling.
Go deeper. Adjust. Finally. Real careful already. 90 after. Yeah.
Emirates Team New Zealand about to complete the leg.
They're not even close up. They're going to have to jibe here on the Italians. This has turned into a full-blown disaster for this boat.
Lead change in race 8. After being way down, and we mean way down, Emirates Team New Zealand lead Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, who cannot at the moment get up on their foils.
It's a fall off the foil, lead again. We've seen it happen once here. There's no reason why it can't happen again. But man, you got to feel for those Italians right now, Nathan. We've all been in crummy spots before, but on the world stage.
One and forward. Pressing with power.
That was so close. So Italians are doing over 24 knots. They're up and foiling, but they're out of the race course. They're going to get another penalty here for being out of the course, and
they don't care at this stage. They're just desperately trying to get on the foils, which it looks like they have. They'll go back in.
You need to get back in the course.
But there's an encouraging sign if you're a fan of the Italian team, up on their foils.
Whoever thought light air sailing would become just so incredibly bizarre, interesting, fun to watch?
How's your balance there, Thursday? Oh, about as good as it's ever going to be with a set up in 8 knots. Yeah.
Pretty chilled, aren't they?
Jib size, though. They're talking about the jib size. This setup in 8 knots is as good as it's going to be, which means it's not great, but let's just make it work.
Here we go.
2, 1, forward. All good, Jim boys, nice.
Blair 2 calls it. All good, boys.
In one of the craziest races we have seen in this 2021 Cup match, Emirates Team New Zealand have come from behind and are the first team to win 2 races in a single day. They lead 5-3.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, away you go. We're done, boys. Roger that. Beautiful, nice. Just watch the camera comes through, no lower, Pete. No lower.
Time to go on board with flight controller Blair Tuke. Congratulations, mate. You want to talk us through that one?
Yeah, well, what a race. It's certainly one to keep. There was a pretty unreal fight back from the guys there. Obviously, we made a pretty costly error jibing right behind them on the first downwind and fell off the foils, but got it back up reasonably quickly, and then sailed a great race from there. And obviously, they made a mistake in one of the attacks at the top mark here underneath Motahi. It's really light wind and patchy, and they made a mistake, and we just never looked back.
Congratulations. Still a long way to go, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, guys.
Blair Tuke, flight controller for Emirates Team New Zealand, as we go on board Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, Jimmy Spittle standing by. Jimmy, it felt like you had that one in the bag. Tough.
Oh, never in the bag, as you saw. Pretty tough conditions. And yeah, we were sailing a pretty good race up until then. Unfortunately, we just fell off the foils and really got sort of stuck up at the top mark for some time, just trying to find enough pressure just to get back up on the foils.
One of the words of Francesco Bruniese, just keep fighting, Jimmy. Thanks for your time. Live from Aotearoa, New Zealand, it's day 6 of the America's Cup match. Yesterday was an extraordinary day of racing where the defender broke the deadlock to go within 2 races of winning the Old Mug. It was a day of heartbreak for the Italians, but passion is a powerful motivator, and as Team New Zealand know, the comeback is always on. Let's head to the course. Emirates Team New Zealand has port entry. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli are on starboard.
Nathan, I'm fascinated to see, with a little bit of pressure, if these guys change up this kind of reasonably predictable format that they've been dancing around with in the pre-starts.
Yeah, Kenny, with a bit more breeze, this starting box is going to feel a lot smaller, so I expect the boats to go a little bit higher in the box, go up nice and high, and then bear away and approach it, because they're going to go out of bounds otherwise. And there you have it. They're already sailing high and almost at the boundary with 1:30 to go.
Probably we'll check around here, boys.
Matching your angle there, 8 rolling.
He will be early.
We'll be
taking around, boys.
Yeah, he's going to go behind it. A little bit. Turning up on the breeze here, boys. Yep. Hard up now, hard up, yep. And board up in 2, 1, board up.
So both boats pretty early coming back. You can hear the comms off the boats.
Especially, they were going 46 knots reaching across there right now. Making up a little bit of ground is not going to be hard to do. Here we go. Here comes the push.
Let's get him off line line. Boards down. 2.
Mine in 2. Mine in 2 here. Let's get firing. Get ready, Joshy. Boat lay.
Let's just check the light line.
Yes, I think he cannot shut.
All this dance is trying to kill speed. They're still quite early to the line. Spithill trying to keep that gap between the boats.
He cannot shut.
Take off okay in this, but 7 on pin.
New Zealand very early, both boards down. Luna Rossa looking safe. They're not going to get shut out. Let's just follow this chat all the way in.
New Zealand almost off the foils completely. They got to be worried about getting back up in the air here.
Happy to take off? Yep.
Easy.
Going to be second.
He will be slow. Follow it.
All right, hit.
All the way.
3 boat lane, come on,
We have a start in race 9 of the America's Cup match. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, Emirates Team New Zealand, and this is a big race.
Nathan, Burling did a little better job of turning the boat up onto the wind. It almost looked like Luna Rossa skidded a little bit going into that, but they do have a nice gap. But can they hold this distance off of the boat to leeward in order to set up for, like we talked about before, that long port tack coming up?
Very even start. As you say, it's all about the exit of this boundary and how the boats shape up. Let's just hear the chat as they approach the boundary.
Can Luna Rossa make a lee bow stick when the two boats tack? Oh, this is going to be touch and go all the way across for both boats.
It's all about mode choices between the two boats. Who's the faster boat? Is New Zealand being affected right now by the bad air? It doesn't look like it, so it's a full boat speed race still here. Luna Rossa really wanting to force Team New Zealand to tack here. Team New Zealand want to hang to the boundary and do the same back to them on the next tack. It's the tightest it's been in a long time.
Tension mounts. Any meter you lose right now is a massive meter.
Lead change. Small one, but it's a lead change on the first leg of race 9.
There we go. Luna Rossa uses that high mode, Nathan, to get rid of the competitor. Really well done, because that was incredibly touch and go.
And you can see Luna Rossa coming to the boundary, and this red line here on the bottom of the screen, that's the lay line. If they can make it in one, they could minimize attack. Could be a big gain for Luna Rossa if they make it in one.
And keep starboard tack advantage.
Left marker looks good for pressure as well.
Potential split at the top mark here. I heard Francesco Brini say left mark looks good for breeze. Good chance of a split at the top here with boats approaching on different tacks.
Now, here comes a situation where the boat coming from the top of the screen, the Kiwis, if they want to take the left-hand mark, they could potentially get into that circle. Doesn't look like they can get there. They'll be dipping.
Okay, good. Sorry. Eyes on the mark.
Top mark for the first time. It is all on in race 9. Splitting the marks, and away they go. There is nothing in this critical race 9 of the America's Cup.
Shirley, we got two even boats out there right now. Which side of the race course would you be on if you had one of the wheels?
We're on the side. We're right beside the Kiwis, following them down, and I like it here. There's like big puffs of wind coming down through that gap in the high land, and to me it looks good on this side.
Up to Neil. Neil, what are you thinking? You agree with Shirley? Do you like the side of the course the Kiwis are on right now?
Yeah, absolutely, Kenny. I totally agree with Shirley. They just seemed to get massive gusts there around the windward mark and really soaked down in it, which was quite impressive.
Starboard tack by the Kiwis. It looks like Luna Rossa is ducking behind. We have another pass.
So if the breeze is stronger on that side of the track, it should be Luna Rossa's turn to benefit from the better breeze. 45 metres in it, you can see they're gaining again slowly. It's going to be about jibe execution. If Team New Zealand can make this next cross, then you could say they've converted that lead, and then they're going to benefit again from that side that has more pressure.
Yep, let's go. Hi, Trav. Hi, runner, sorry. Nice little puff here.
Goodness gracious. Literally nothing in it.
Course C, why aren't we here all the time?
We've seen it, how great it was through the round robin series and the Christmas Cup. Starboard tack now, advantage for the Italians.
Behind him at the stage.
Question is anyone on ley line at the moment?
More down.
Well, big call, jibing on Luna Rossa here.
No problem with him.
Yeah, no worries.
A big call by Luna Rossa, jibes to stay in sync, so they're really setting up the leeward gate, aren't they, Nathan?
They are. Watch for both boats to jibe here in a second.
Yeah, I think think we go all the way. Go all the way, boys.
Going to sail them off the course. They have every right to sail them off the course right now.
Straight.
Going to be a giant round up if we go, okay? Going to be a giant round up.
Aggressive match racing by Luna Rossa. Sailed them right off the course there.
Creating a really tight turn for both boats.
There is nothing in this ninth race. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli lead Emirates Team New Zealand. And they head up for the leg number 3. And this is really a battle on the water today.
Jimmy Spithill at his best.
So race 9 is a real nail-biter. We'll be back with the action after the break. This is where history is written and heroes are made. After 4 years of intense preparation and training, it's time to go hard or go home. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli is digging deep and proving that this match series is far from over. Let's go back to the course.
It's interesting, Peter decided to go straight into attack there. It wasn't a great attack, and I think they gave up another 50 metres. But they got the split, so any right-hand shift and those metres, that 200-metre lead could start trickling down very quickly if we get a right-hand shift. Shirley, you're going up that side of the boundary. What do you see pressure-wise and boat speed-wise between the boats?
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, Nathan, we're on the right-hand side beside the Kiwis. I mean, I like the breeze on the right-hand side. It's puffing in, but when it puffs, it's stronger. The sky, though, over Auckland's got really dark. So remember, we are expecting a big shift to the left-hand side. And goodness knows when that's going to happen, but it's not far away.
We tack on him.
Yeah, copy.
We tack on him.
Yeah, okay, stand by if you want to tack on him. 3, 2, 1, board down. High rudder.
1, more coming down. Let's do 1, boys. So get it on jump. So it's
board down.
Yeah, working on it.
Good puff out of this.
A little earlier on the cut.
Heading towards the halfway point in this ninth race, but at the completion of leg number 2, it was all go down the bottom mark.
But this lead is not growing. The Kiwi boat we have seen is very fast in this condition.
New Zealand here sailed through to leeward. Luna Rossa went to tack on them, and it looked like Team New Zealand put the bow down. They went through to leeward. They might be gaining on that side, but it's going to be hard to sail around them and get the cross. Remember, when they tack, they're going to be on port tack. So the controlling position here is Luna Rossa, but there's a long way to go to this ley line still. Another 30 seconds to a minute.
He's building a bit.
Yes. Build here.
Good there.
Touch and go for Luna Rossa all the way across the track. But again, they've done a masterful job of keeping themselves in a good position, really with nothing to spare.
And then it'll be a Simo tack here on the port ley line to the top mark. New Zealand's chance here is to accelerate and get a hook here, but right now they are sailing in the bad wind of the other boat.
3, 2, 1, more down. Turning.
We are at the halfway mark in the ninth race of this America's Cup match. Out on the Waitemata Harbour, and it is a battle royale. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli will lead Emirates Team New Zealand around the top gate as head downwind on leg number 4.
Soft here.
Maybe we do the trick.
Go straight for a bit. Victoria boys, send it.
Both boats perfectly clear of the other boat's disturbed air, but they always got to keep it in mind. We've seen that too many times during this event so far, how different the disturbed air is in these new modern boats that are going 3 or 4 times the actual speed of the wind.
If they drive, we drive. Yes. 2, 1, more down, I think. What? They will be in the dirt. They should be in the dirt now.
Pressure is coming.
You hear Francesco Bruni saying they should be in the dirt. See how Team New Zealand have jibed into the bad air of Luna Rossa. The only way they can actually gain here is to sail a high mode. The gas is actually coming out behind. In a typical boat, it would be out the front of the boat, but because these boats are doing what, 39 knots downwind in 12, 14 knots of breeze. The gas almost comes straight off the back, and you can see Team New Zealand having to set extra distance because they can't catch him. This is all about bottom arc approach, and the conversation on board now is going to be critical to see if Team New Zealand can get a split.
Copy.
Okay, easy.
1, 4 down.
Get this pressure.
Yeah, it's coming.
Team New Zealand make a move and take a split.
One in left.
Going to do the extra maneuver.
Yeah, I agree.
Little bill killer.
Yeah.
Stand by. 2, 1 more down.
You can see the lead has grown massively, but they've still got one more jibe to go, and New Zealand have set themselves up for a split here.
Good. Yeah. No slower pace.
A little gain to him. May have a piece of
I
for the left.
P drive inside us.
Yeah, I think
We'll
we have to
drive
go
around
right,
up the P drive.
boys.
Oh, big gains here for Team New Zealand. Bit of action at the bottom mark.
Easy, fast mode.
More action at the bottom mark, but it will be Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli that rounds gate 4 first. Emirates Team New Zealand, both of them steaming in at plus 40 knots. In your words, Kenny, we got a race.
We got a boat race here, no question about that. This is what we've all been waiting for, frankly. It is going to be close. Keep in mind the Italians are on starboard tack. They're the right-of-way boat, but that was a lot of distance to give to that Kiwi boat.
I think we need just to cross. We're not crossing forwardly bound, either one. Yeah, we're behind.
I don't think so at the moment.
No more breeze.
If we do, we protect the right.
All good, we're...
I don't think we have it.
Bit of breeze out here, I think, Pete.
No,
yeah,
no,
like it right over the next
no,
good angle
We
there.
cross, boys.
Lighter on
Performance.
that Copy, so came out the front, 2, 1, now. Got him.
Find a good spot to come back up here, Killer.
Yeah.
Coming here in 3.
Nathan, they didn't tack on the Italian boat, even though in match racing you would think that would have been a place because they were afraid they'd get rolled. During the tack, the other boats going so fast, they were afraid they couldn't make that tack stick.
Yeah, to me right now it's all about the right, and we can see Team New Zealand really heading that way. I think if I was Luna Rossa right now, I'd be a little bit concerned with Team New Zealand on their sailing their own mode to the right of me.
Crosswind at the moment. Left.
Yes.
Man, is this a close race.
2, 1, go down. Turning.
2, 1, 4 coming down.
So that time they were far enough ahead to make the tack, and they've pushed them back to the right. So they gained on the left despite Neil thinking the breeze is better on the right. Neil, now what do you see?
I'm still seeing all pressures on the right to me up here, Nathan. It'll be interesting to see how they go when they come back together.
You think so?
Just listen to the chat on board as they progress to the final top mark.
It is interesting they're protecting the left side of the course, though. This is their choice on the Italian boat.
And it's a port tack. When they come back together,
yep.
they lose right of way. Surprising.
Mate's going to have to take this, Killer, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's go all the way just in case we lay a little build.
Has the breeze. Look at that. There's a right-hand shift, and it looks like Team New Zealand have taken the lead.
They made the choice. The Italians made the choice to go back to the left side. They had the right side if they wanted it. They made the choice to go back left. It doesn't look like that worked.
Extend a little bit, actually, Pete, out of this. Yeah, that's it, yeah. 8 away. 5, 3, 2, 1, away you go. 20 seconds.
Devastating for the Italians. A devastating call. They sailed such a beautiful race up until that moment. Just that choice in the shifty conditions of course C. They were taking what they were given and making the best of it. That's what the boat behind has to do. And then all of a sudden they got their break, right? They got their break from the Italians. The Italians, believe it or not, everybody says cover, cover, cover when you're ahead. The Italians actually finally covered and got burned by it.
Tierehotai, the boat that they are sailing, Emirates Team New Zealand, have a 465-metre plus lead in this 9th race. And as they head towards the finish in the 9th race, you know what that means. Emirates Team New Zealand are one step closer to winning the America's Cup, the 36th edition. They have done it quite simply on the last leg. Emirates Team New Zealand crossed the line. It's 6-3. On board Emirates Team New Zealand, time to talk with Peter Burling. Congratulations, Peter, 6-3, one race win away, but what did you make of that? Because that was a hell of a downwind on the last.
Yeah, well, I think, just good fun racing. You know, it's great to be back in here on Course C and having a good battle with, a really good team, but it's great to walk away with another win as well.
Hey, Pete, it's Nathan here. Nice job in that race. Match point now. How much do you want to win it today?
Well, I mean, it is pretty epic out here. Oh, you just look around and thousands of boats. You know, it's great to actually finally get racing in on Course C. But yeah, we're just trying to put our best foot forward and do everything we can to keep winning races.
Time to go on board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Francesco, did you let that one get away?
Yeah, unfortunately. Obviously, it's a painful one, but chin up and keep fighting. We're definitely fighting hard. I'm very proud with the full team, with the boys. We couldn't get every shift right, and we missed this opportunity, but we need to think about the next race. We can still win races for sure.
Exceptional race. Sorry about the ending, but exceptional race. Can you just take us through that bottom mark where you threw a little luff at the other guys, knowing you're going to have to do a really tough turn back into the gate? Can you just take us through that whole moment?
Yeah, I think we played very elbows out, and we went for a lock. They were well overlapped, so they couldn't jibe. And was a great call by Jimmy on the timing of the board drop so that we could reach the closer mark in the best angle. So there was a little bit of a stretch there. But yeah, I think we did a fantastic race, honestly. No big regrets.
Yeah, Keka, it was a great race. Very aggressive from you guys from the moment you took a brief amount of control. I'm assuming we're going to see the same again. Any change to the game plan?
No, not really. I think we have to still stay elbows out, and when we have the opportunity for a good shift, take the good shift and try to call the right shift at the right time.
Okay, Francesco, thanks for your time. Race starts 5:45 coming up.
This is the race committee. Racing has been abandoned for the day.
Can you believe it?
New Zealand, you got to wait one more night, and Italy, time to go regroup.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Welcome to Aotearoa, New Zealand. Welcome to Day 7 of the 2021 America's Cup match on the waters of the Waitemata Harbour. Yesterday, both teams produced the race of the match so far. But going to the last leg, the defender got a break and pounced, putting themselves one race away from winning the Old Mug. For Luna Rossa, the equation is now simple. They must win at all costs. A quick check of the points table tells the full story. The Italians cannot afford to lose a race. If they do, the battle for the 36th America's Cup Race Series is over. Let's head to the course. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli has port. Emirates Team New Zealand are on starboard.
Big committee boat. At the moment we're wide right.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli are into the pre-start. Emirates Team New Zealand firing it as well from the starboard. They are coming into the pre-start. Here we go.
Jimmy Spithill just gave us a feel for the starting line and their strategy there, Nathan. He said big weather end or committee boat favor, right-hand end favor, and they're already thinking wide right.
So as the lead boat, they're on port, they're leading away. How are they actually going to get that right-hand side? Because they're going to be the first ones to turn back. So very interesting here. I expect if they want to be wide and right, they're going to turn back later than normal.
Very nice for sure.
Is he down now?
Down.
He jibe.
And he's just gliding into a jibe right now. The real question is New Zealand going to jump them, or are they going to tack and push from above?
Posting there. Boats around up attack.
Goes lower.
One, put down.
Pull the way up. Pull the way up.
New Zealand does not fall for it. They both want the right-hand side. Luna Rossa was barely trying to jibe. They weren't trying to jibe, and the Kiwis didn't let him do it.
So now he's going to try and shut them out. Jimmy Spittle's going to try and shut them out, but Peter Burling looks like he's got plenty of speed. Let's just hear the onboard comms. This is a critical moment in this race.
No risk of being late, I think.
Okay, 0 on 10.
Yeah, we can see him.
One, good one, down to a single.
I'll give you a little kiss here.
Here comes the push.
Kiwis are in an interesting spot here. 25 seconds to go.
Yeah, going speed.
Up again, please. Yeah.
Trim.
Easing Lenny on those, brother. He's fully downwind here. He's fully downwind. Staying above the line. Yeah. Almost all the way here. Nice, guys. Good. Time for speed here, Pete. Watch that.
Go.
2, 1.
It's on. Race 10 of the America's Cup Match 2021. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, defender, Emirates Team New Zealand.
Key moment in the race. They wanted the right hard there. They actually came in late and didn't mind starting tight. The Kiwis didn't, knowing that they would be tacking soon after. We're going to have to wait a couple minutes for the first cross. These boats are going to go to the edges of the course and come back together. That's when we'll know the verdict of who won the start. Surely this is reminiscent of that critical cross yesterday where they sound like they're in a big right-hand shift out there.
Yeah, it's gone to 60 degrees. The course, I think, set up at 45. So just at start time, massive 15-degree right-hand shift. We were on the right-hand side with the Kiwis. Also, to me, there's always more pressure over here. So great call by the Kiwis. Got the shift and the pressure.
On the way back here, Joshy. We're just knocking to you guys.
Okay, no lower.
There's not going to be much into it, Nathan, but it looks like first cross, first blood to the Kiwis. Starboard tack advantage coming from the top of the screen.
But what side are they going to protect? Are they going to tack and hit them, or are they going to let them go to the right-hand side?
Pressure straight ahead. Pressure up offshore in general.
So Team New Zealand cover there. They want to protect that right-hand side. They got first blood out of the right-hand side. They've now got a small lead. And they're forcing Prada back out to the left-hand side of the course. Let's go to Freddie in the sky. What do you see as we go up the track, mate?
Yeah, the same as what we saw before the start. The better mixed pressure is left middle, where Prada are heading to now. And the shift is obviously still right. They're still talking about the right-hand shift. The windward mark right now, the best breeze on the course is coming down left middle.
We have been critical of Peter Burling's starts throughout the series, but I got to tell you what, that took guts to know that you were going to start what we call tight right and bail into it, attack right away. They had a strategy, and he pulled it off. Very good job by Peter Burling.
Top left, Edison, maybe.
Just heard Blair Chuk say top left is a little bit better. So they're seeing what Freddie and the helicopter's seeing at the moment. You can see this lead difference is very, very similar. Those angles out the front indicate the angle the boat's traveling at. New Zealand are attack ahead here, so when Luna Rossa attack right now, you expect that this lead that Luna Rossa have artificially right now might drop a bit. But if that's a left-hand shift, we might see a lead change here. Very close between these two boats at the moment.
We are on leg 1 of 6 in a critical race 10 of the 2021 America's Cup match.
Left shift back to Prada. What are they going to do? Can they leave bow, or are they going to have to duck?
We're going 1 for right. I mean, 1 for right. Yeah, very happy with the bridge on the bow.
Coming up, boys.
Good gain to Luna Rossa. I think this is the first time, Nathan, we've seen the Kiwis ahead and they haven't just simply stretched away. Luna Rossa keeping it tight.
Just lay.
Just got a little bit low heel. Nothing. Starting off here. Real good phaser. Yeah.
Emirates Team New Zealand through the top gate for the first time. One leg of 6 completed. They will lead Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli around on the first downwind leg in this race. Tight margins.
Surely it seems a little bit shiftier than we've seen in the past out on this course. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And also up and down in speed and velocity, you know, 10 knots up to 14 knots. So big patches of light wind, which is making a massive difference to performance.
Emirates Team New Zealand with a lead that sits at around 230 odd metres in front of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. The equation for Luna Rossa is quite simple. They must win this race. They must chase down Emirates Team New Zealand. They will have fans on the edge of their seat early in the morning in Italy, and crowd here, the Italian fans will be praying for something to happen, but you get the feeling the numbers outweigh them when it comes to crowds. Kiwi fans are poised to pop the champagne corks, but count the Italians out at your peril. We'll be back with more action after the break. Race 10. Will this be the last of the 36th America's Cup? Emirates Team New Zealand has a commanding lead, but Jimmy Spittle is renowned for his combative spirit, and it isn't over until it's over. Let's head back to the racecourse.
Team New Zealand jibing to get in sync here right now, so both boats look like they're heading towards the same mark. I think there's been a really good gain here by Luna Rossa on this run. This is one of the very first runs we've seen that Luna Rossa has hung in there or even gained.
Emirates Team New Zealand once again leading Luna Rossa around the bottom gate for the first time. They'll complete 2 legs of 6, 4 to go.
Stuck a little stuck here on Emirates Team New Zealand. Not their best job and best rounding. A wide rounding going around it.
But that's that's a bad rounding by Prada there.
To me, it looked like they went for the 2 boards down, ready for that JK turn really early and quite a light phase as well, and it was just too long, hanging there too deep with the 2 boards down and really, really slowed down. It was a big loss.
You can see Peter Belling's getting very aggressive now, isn't he? He's just got that little bit of a lead out. You can see on this graphic here that white trail behind the boats is the bad air. It looks like Luna Rossa is sailing just to leeward of that graphic. It's very hard to give your competitor bad air, but I think Peter Burling is saying to his boys, let's shut the race down. Let's not give him a chance to get back into this. If you're a Kiwi fan watching this right now, you're starting to get a little bit excited.
Flags a big right at the top there.
Emirates Team New Zealand about to complete 50% of race number 10. They have completed 3 legs of 6. We'll round that top gate and head back down on leg number 4.
He'll be taking right turn in about 15 seconds.
They can feel it. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli finally through the top gate, taking the right-hand mark. And that lead has lengthened 27 seconds in favour of Emirates Team New Zealand.
Coming down on this.
No deeper beach. He won't make them.
Emirates Team New Zealand, the defender, of the America's Cup, heading into complete leg number 4 of race number 10. They are 2 legs away from winning the Cup.
Emirates Team New Zealand sailing very fast, and looks like they've stretched their lead once again. Just a couple of extra seconds on that downwind, but...
Bit JK here. Going to drop the ball during the turn, though. Okay, slow turn up.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli have always said they are in the fight, and they will stay in the fight. And they are still in the fight. They're 37 seconds adrift of Emirates Team New Zealand. I thought the telling moment at the press conference last night from Jimmy Spiller says there ain't going to be any towel thrown in. We are here to go all the way.
We go back to the start of this race, and Peter Burling, both in the press down here and in this booth, has been really having a hard time, taking a hard time in these pre-starts. They had a plan in that pre-start, and they pulled it off. I give him all kinds of credit.
No, you're 100% there, and there's a lot of pressure on the helmsman of any of these boats. And no, there's a lot of people watching the racing today, and he would love nothing more than to execute a start and lead from the beginning of the race right through. And so far, so good.
No quitting in the Italian boat. I'll tell you what, the same communication, that same level of communication, the cadence on board the boat, absolutely zero quit, no sense of panic, but the clock is certainly running on them right now. Course A has not produced a pass yet. You have to win the start. The Kiwis went for it at the start, and it worked. And by the way, the Italians wanted that start, and the other guys took it away. Good for them.
A 500-plus metre advantage to Emirates Team New Zealand.
Definitely this mark's good with the big right here. Yeah, probably just carry on the boundary. Nice angle there.
Emirates Team New Zealand heading the top gate for the very last time. Sailing this magnificent flying machine called Terehutai. They'll round the gate, head downwind for the very last time, and one feels pretty sure the party's about to start.
You never know. You never know. But man, if you're a betting person right now, which of course we're not, looking kind of good for the Kiwis right now.
Average breeze coming to the front edge of it. I wonder about maybe taking. Still happy here for a little bit. Your ball. Happy all the way.
2, 1, clear. Yours.
Nathan, we've talked a lot in this event about the fastest boat always wins the America's Cup. There's been a lot of talk about pretty even boats, et cetera, et cetera. To me, there's been no question. As this series has gone along, and we even mentioned this early on, the Italians had to put them away early. The Kiwis have gotten better. They've gotten race tougher. They've gotten better. And the faster boat is about to win the America's Cup.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think Luna Rossa put up a really strong fight at the beginning. They were starting well, executing everything well, but you kind of got the feeling as this event was going on that the faster boat was gaining momentum. These guys were starting to find modes in that boat that they needed to combat another boat. When you're sailing around on your own for 2 or 3 years, it's hard to know what mode to sail, but they lined up with Luna Rossa early on in this event, and they're finding modes that they didn't know they had. And as always, the fastest boat wins the America's Cup, and we're seeing that right now.
It has been a mighty challenge from Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, but in the end, you come into this final match race, as it turns out to be, needing 4 wins in a trot, and they have been, well, we have to call it, don't we? They were outsailed at the start, and that was the difference. Peter Burling did what he needed to do in the match race that mattered. Emirates Team New Zealand are on track to add another memorable chapter to the America's Cup history book. Let's remember their sailing odyssey, this Cup Odyssey, is only 34 years young. That Odyssey from Fremantle would turn into Obsession, and then it would come to 1995 that Team New Zealand finally got their hands on sailing's holy grail, becoming just the 2nd country to win the Cup from outside of America. In 2000, they prevailed to all comers, but unable to follow up in 2003. 21 years after their first successful defence on home waters, Emirates Team New Zealand do it again in a new class of boat that proves Kiwis can fly. Sailing's most treasured prize, the America's Cup, stays in New Zealand.
Yes, boy. Enjoy the moment, boys. Well done.
Well, if you're going to log a date in the memory banks, it's quite a simple one. St. Patrick's Day 2021, March 17, Emirates Team New Zealand win the 36th edition of the America's Cup. On board the victorious Emirates Team New Zealand and their helmsman Peter Burling. Pete, congratulations. You just won an America's Cup again. How does it feel?
Oh, mate, absolutely unreal. And, you know, I think coming back to the chase boat and just seeing all the people involved in this campaign over 3 or so years, you know, how many Kiwis are out here supporting the event again. You know, we've had messages from everyone from the Prime Minister to high school kids to, you know, just about anyone you can think of support, and it just means the world to us as a team. You know, we're obviously absolutely blown away by being able to achieve what we have as a group and win another America's Cup, but it's just been the most amazing experience along the way.
Yeah, hey, Pete, we've got Jimmy Spittle and Francesco Bruni listening in. Would you like to say something to the lads?
Yeah, congrats on a great series. You know, it's obviously been really hard fought, and I really love racing against you guys. I think, you know, from all of us here at Team New Zealand, we'd just like to say, you know, well done and great racing. Thanks again.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you.
Let's go on board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli with Jimmy Spittle and Francesco Bruni. Francesco, hard luck, valiant effort, fantastic series that Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli delivered to everybody in the sailing world. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic experience. I would just want to congratulate first with Team New Zealand, obviously. They've done a fantastic job. But I think also I need to congratulate with Luna Rossa, an amazing team. I think we proved to the world that we could do it. And yeah, it's been hard luck in the last couple of days, but definitely, I mean, we've done, I think, a great job as a team.
Francesco, thank you so much for your time. We'll go across to have a quick chat to Jimmy. Jimmy, it's one of those days for a team that said they would never stop fighting. You guys never stop fighting.
No, it's an incredible team, and really the whole campaign. I really just can't thank the entire team, especially the guys that are on the shore. The first priority now is really to get ashore, thank our teammates, you know, our fans, our families, all our supporters, and then take it from there. Obviously, we need to go have a beer with the Kiwis and really pay respect to those guys. But yeah, first things first, got to go and thank all of our teammates who have really just made such a huge amount of effort for us to allow us to get out here and fight it out in the America's Cup.
Jimmy, thanks for your time. Thanks for being a good sport too.
Thanks very much, guys. Grazie, Italia.
There's the scorecard. Race 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And Emirates Team New Zealand win the America's Cup. Emirates Team New Zealand are on their way home to a reception and a trophy presentation that's going to go on long into the evening here on March the 17th, 2021 in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland. The Italians gave it their all, but Emirates Team New Zealand were too slick, too fast, too tough, and too dominant. They have sailed into sporting folklore, defended the old mug, and given Kiwi fans an excuse to party all night. The 36th America's Cup is over.